The new season is finally here, and today, trainers, we're gonna dive together into Open Great League with a fantastic team around Poipole. This content is gonna be super entertaining, and of course we're gonna kick off the season with this team, so do not expect the best battles ever, but still they're gonna be kinda challenging. So let's begin the content, but before we do, cue the intro. A new season is beginning, and of course we're gonna have this kind of battles along the way. I'm not gonna showcase any more of this, but here it is, trainers. I don't know what is happening. My first set was entirely about this one, so rank 1 was totally a bust. I'm just gonna keep going now with the rank 2 battles, and we're gonna start off the video officially with that Vigoroth up in front. So Body Slam is gonna be blocked while we need to go for those Fell Stingers, but after we farm up a lot so that our opponent will think that we're gonna go for a Sludge Wave or a Sludge Bomb to finish off their Pokemon. So now the Body Slam can easily be taken, and I can tell from now that Poipole might not be the ultimate tank for this meta, but still can provide a lot of pressure with its moves. So at this point I'm just gonna let it go down, even though I have enough energy, but I know that Annihilate with a shield will most likely be on a dominant position against anything at the very end. To my surprise though, they have a Charmer. Are you kidding me? We're not starting pretty good here, and Greninja now will take so much damage from those moves, but hopefully at the very end, here comes the Malamar, here comes the Spice, and now a double Hydro Cannon will just seal the deal to start off the video in a positive way. Look at that damage output, absolutely absurd from our Greninja. Into the next battle now with Poipole facing a Gligar, and this one is pretty bad for us. So I'm just gonna go in here with my Greninja, trying to make quick work of that Pokemon while I still have at least a nice punch from my Annihilate to finish off in a one-shot that Shadow Gligar. So we meet up with a Lickitung, and you know what? Those back-to-back moves are not gonna be appreciated by this Pokemon, so they need to block eventually. Another Hydro Cannon is imminent, but this time it is gonna drop them super low, but at a point that they can easily farm down with the licks before we do anything weird. Now my Annihilate can easily go into the battle. I'm just hoping that they return here with their Gligar, and now it's all up to their final Pokemon to determine the outcome. So here comes now my Ice Punch. I know that I have the shield advantage, and obviously this is gonna look kinda good for me if we can land that final Ice Punch. So I believe that at this point I'm gonna press it immediately, and they end up catching on the Empoleon, which also got a buff this season with that Steel Wing on its fast attack. So here comes now a move. I believe that we do not stand a clear chance here, but the outcome is not settled yet, because as you can see, we can still put them under pressure with those Fell Stingers, but unfortunately for us, we cannot finish them off right in time. Another Fell Stinger is imminent. Are we gonna destroy down the Empoleon? No, we cannot, and down we go now to that Pokemon. That was an unfortunate loss, but absolutely a pretty worth one for my opponent. Into the next battle now with a Cresselia, another bad lead for us because of those psychic moves, but at the same time we can start pressuring with those Fell Stingers. I know that they are not gonna connect for big damage here, but still they are gonna be kinda on the higher ground, at least because we can absolutely resist those Grasslands and the Moonblast. However, that big future sight is something that we need to worry about. So here comes now another move. I'm just gonna call it, but instead there is the future sight in the one-shot up against my poison typing. Now Greninja will just keep going at it with the Night Slash, and we get the big boost. Are you kidding me? Another Night Slash before they do anything weird, and another big boost for our Pokemon. Greninja now is gonna go crazy with the Water Shurikens. We can eventually farm down. It all depends now on what they might be having at the very end. So all of a sudden they reveal their Mandibuzz. Are you kidding me? Look at the damage output. After all those boosts on our attack stat, IRLS will deal almost nothing, able to farm down with that final Water Shuriken, Feraligatr at the back. So now my Night Slash are just gonna dominate this water type Pokemon. Look at the damage output. I cannot even withstand it with my own eyes. Absolutely a sightseeing. Into the next battle now with another ground type. Are you kidding me? So here comes now the switch on my Greninja. We need to push here a lot with those hydro cannons, and of course Whiskas is gonna take about a half from that move. Now on the switch we're meeting up with that Annihilate. We're gonna go down eventually, but not before we unleash the power of the Night Slash. I was hoping here to get to another one, but of course the counter damage is so much for me and we cannot withstand it with our frog-like starter. So Poipole now will return to the battle. I know that those ice punches can easily be taken, while all we need to do is to at some point throw our Sludge Bomb. I was trying to force here the CMP, but my opponent knew better, and unfortunately for us we cannot reach our hands to the Felt Stinger. So my opponent here is gonna get to the ice punch right after they have the Dugong at the very end, so now we need to start baiting for a potential Shadow Ball. They end up taking the bait, and absolutely that was devastating for us. So now Annihilate will just keep pushing for the moves, but I still know that they have that Whiskas at the very end, which was their lead Pokemon, so absolutely not the best battle that we had so far. Down goes the Dugong eventually. We have a lot of energy to spare, and we end up going for that Ice Punch on the Annihilate. I don't know what I was thinking about, because perhaps we could have had a chance after all, but as it seems my opponent already has the energy on the Whiskas, and my Annihilate will eventually go down in a very bad executed match for myself. Anyways, GG there, and now let's move forward into that Dragonair lead. So Poipole is just gonna have kind of an even scenario against the Dragons, and that's mainly because of Felt Stinger. After the first one we can absolutely wreak havoc with those moves, and after we charge up back to another Felt Stinger, I will try to switch out and catch a move on my Annihilate, but to be fair, whatever they throw here is just gonna be awesome for us, because we resist whatever they have, even the fast attack, absolutely awesome. Now on the switch we're meeting up with that Lantern, and of course we're having the Shadow Balls, which can connect for even bigger damage. At this point I consider using a shield, because I know that I have another Shadow Ball ready to go for big damage on their end, and knowing for a fact that I have a Greninja as well, things aren't looking that great. So Dragonair now is gonna go in. I'm just gonna block the move here, and since I am on the Sludge Bomb range of energy, I'm just gonna switch out to my Greninja, try to snipe down that Dragonair out of existence, and all we need right here is to get our hands to another Night Slash, make them drop the energy, and of course win the CMP if they have more energy than me, so that my Poipole can finish off the battle with that final Sludge Bomb for the win trainers up against the Lantern. Into the next battle now everyone, and we're having Annihilate up in front. This is another bad one for us, but they end up switching out to their Dugong. You know what, this is still looking promising for us, and seeing the Dugong coming in so easily makes me think that they want us to throw our fighter into the game. I'm not gonna do this, because I know for a fact that my fighter will be needed for the very end game. So here comes now my Sludge Bomb. I will try to finish them off here, but after the debuff we came on the even scenario, so down goes our Poipole in the end game, but still my Greninja can absolutely come in handy at this point, able to farm down completely the remaining HP that they have. At this point I have a double Night Slash remaining, so here comes the first one on the Annihilate, the second as well, but are they gonna take it? This is the $1 million question. They are not, so now it all depends on what they might be having once again at the very end. You saw before that they tried to force out my fighter with a Dugong aggressive switch in there, so I guess they have something like a Bastiodon, a Galarian Stunfisk, a Red Steel, something like that. So let's see how this is gonna unfold, because my Ice Punch now is gonna come through, able to finish off that Annihilate, and instead of those steel types that I mentioned, well, they have something like a Sandslash, which is still gonna be kind of a bad one for them, since we can absolutely wreak havoc with those counters. They still survive with 1 HP, but the Water Shuriken is coming in clutch to finish off that Sandslash, and of course send it back to the Alola region. Into the next battle, and the final one as it seems. Obstagoon now up against our Poipole. Obviously here our Felt Stingers are gonna fall in pretty sharp up against them, so Night Slash is still gonna be doing some really decent amount of damage, but nothing that we can't handle. The second one though, not so much. Anyways, we might sacrifice a shield at this point if we want to completely farm down and have the upper hand towards the end game. So at the back they have a Stunfisk, are you kidding me? And at the very end a Galvantula as well. So at this point I'm just gonna bring my Greninja here into play, because I know that after the debuffs, even after the debuffs, I can still push a lot with those moves. So here comes now my Hydro Cannon, able to finish off their last shield, and to my surprise we still managed to get our hands to the Night Slash before going down. If I knew that, perhaps I could go for the Night Slash first to get up that second shield and then that Hydro Cannon, but it makes no difference at all, because overall my Pokemon over here, that Annihilape, is just gonna dominate the matchup with that Stunfisk. Of course, I still know that Galvantula has at least a charge attack ready to go. I'm expecting them to throw it immediately when they come into the battle, but with that minimal amount of HP remaining, one Poison Jab later, we managed to get the victory with our leader and of course Poipole. That is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for sticking around till the end. Just be sure to leave a like before you go, subscribe to the channel, and check over here any of these two videos that might be of interest to you. Till the next time, take care, trainers.